It's showing connected, but I think we are live.
Okay.
But maybe we can wait few seconds since
Yeah.
till we get official response that we are live.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, now it is there.
Hi,
So,
everyone.
hello everyone, and we
We are
are
back.
we are back, and you can see our energy. It's a little more. Yeah. So I think yeah, 1 week passed very quickly. I don't
Yeah.
know.
So just to catch you all up, we are now doing these sessions weekly, every Friday.
Hmm.
Friday we have chosen so far. Let's see if we change the day. But yes, so far we'll be doing them every Friday at 6 p.m. IST. So yeah, go on now, Ashutosh.
Yeah, and I think we'll keep continuing doing them for at least next 2 months, and every week we'll come up with a different topic,
Mhm.
which we will enjoy talking very much.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so today's topic is how to know if you are in a trap of self-improvement.
Mhm.
So how did
Lovely
we
topic.
on this topic?
Last week, after doing the third live, as always, we were on the call. We
Hmm.
were discussing now what's next, and then just the topic just came to me. I said it out loud, and you were like, "Perfect, let's do this." So that's how we came onto this topic.
Yeah. Even coincidentally, and not so coincidentally, I created one reel
Uh-huh.
on this thing. I think that
Oh, that reel with your epic run in
yeah,
the end.
yeah, with my epic run, which was very improvised. It was I just thought of it at the last moment, and I even talked about it with I think two or three of my clients about the same this thing of how to know if you're in the trap of self improvement. So
Nice.
I would like to just share a few insights about this topic and what you think of it.
You want me to begin?
Yeah, why not?
All right. So, what do I think about this topic? All right. Whenever I think of self improvement, I always feel like it's a very, it's some shiny object to go after, because
Hmm.
I am a person who loves to just get curious, or uh, or I get excited whenever I know there is something which is very new to explore, and I don't know what lies ahead, after that exploration and everything. So that is why self improvement to me has always been that shiny object until a year back, that shiny object. Okay.
Hmm.
And that is why I used to have this attachment with self improvement, that if I am improving myself constantly, committedly, dedicatedly, then I'll feel like, okay, I'm doing something in life.
Hmm.
And that means even when I am not hitting my business goals or anything else, as long as my goals of self improvement are getting fulfilled, I would feel fulfilled. That is how the attachment used to be. And I was not aware for a long time that it was an attachment, because, I mean, again, if you are eating healthy, no one's gonna come and question you, why are you eating healthy? Don't
Hmm.
eat too much healthy food, it's like that. But the idea is, in my mind, I was addicted, sort of, to self improvement. I had my worth attached to it. As long as I am self improving or doing personal growth work, inner work, or whatever, I would feel like, okay, I am deserving of things. That is how I used to feel. But then, as life had it, I went through certain experiences where I realized that now this self improvement has become another chase. And I'm just remembering your reel because what I'm about to say, it's something similar to what you have shared in that reel. It's exactly like I was chasing X in my career, Y in my personal relationships, Z in my health. And when I was chasing it, I realized that nothing matters. All that matters is self improvement. And if I am improving, then XYZ will get achieved. And in doing so, I started chasing self improvement.
Mm.
And it became a chase because, again, that feeling. If I am not working on myself, on my personal growth, I would feel like I am lagging behind or I am not doing enough. So that feeling itself was an indicator for me that I am now in the trap of self improvement.
Hmm.
Because if I cannot just be okay with who I am, how I am, like in whatever way it is, then that simply is the, you know, like is that simply is me going against the whole idea of self improvement. So
Hmm.
yeah, so these are my initial views on this.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And yeah, self improvement is tricky. It's tricky. I think when I started on this journey, I would say my personal growth journey or my healing journey, and when I full-fledgedly started, it was 2019, and I started living alone. And I started waking up at 5 a.m. and then I would do, all those things that come under self-improvement, journaling, meditation, breathing exercises, reading, watching podcasts,
Mhm,
sleeping early. Also, of course, that was required in order to wake up early. But I feel it was still very healthy because I was not coming from a place of uh, that for me it was like I want this discipline in my life because in order to think clearly, in order to, because of course, when you're disciplined,
mhm,
you are more productive, you're able to do more things, you are more creative as well.
mhm,
And why I'm saying it was healthy for me because when there were always times when I would relapse and I would go back to my previous lifestyle, which was not healthy.
mhm,
So, and when I would relapse, that amount of beating that people do, that amount of self criticism they do when they are not able to do what they want to do, that was not hardly there for me.
mhm.
I would always find a way back where I would say, it's okay, whatever happened, happened, and let's start from here. So I think that's the tricky part of self-improvement, of course. Like if you wake up early, if you're reading books, if you're working out, if you're eating healthy, if you're sleeping on time, it's actually very good for your mind. It's very good for your happiness, very good for your joy.
Mm,
But the thing with this journey is that first the parameters that we have around us, that most of the people are not living this lifestyle, so it's always going to be difficult to follow it. And because life will happen in between, and so there will always be relapses. You will get sick, you'll go to a wedding, you will go to a trip, so or sometimes your motivation will just die down.
mm,
So that's just part of the process where you are going to go back to your previous lifestyle, where you are not gonna give a shit about waking up early, reading a book, or even eating healthy. And then if I think if you are, beating yourself up, criticizing yourself daily, then the one thing is it will become very difficult to come back and start this process again. And second is that what's the then if you're doing that, what's the point of self improvement? Why are you even doing it?
yeah, true. I think what's also important is being able to identify where the line between discipline as the source of creativity, joy, you know, stuff like that exists, and discipline as the source of self worth. If anything becomes a source of self worth,
Hmm.
that's when the belittling starts happening. As long as, if in the case of discipline, which I think is a very delicate topic to talk about for a lot of us, because we have been raised in the society of punishment and reward system, uh, in our exams, schools, wherever, everywhere. So yeah, I mean, knowing if it's one thing if I know I am being disciplined because I know it helps me and I know I enjoy it, such that if I am not disciplined, I will not starting questioning, start to question my own worth. Like, who am I? Like, why am I so bad at discipline? Or I'm definitely gonna fail because I am not disciplined. Everything now starts revolving around that word, discipline. As if discipline is not there, everything else will crumble. Then
Hmm.
that is how we make discipline the source of self worth. Whereas on the other hand, there is discipline where you are disciplined, or about your self improvement goals or any other goal, and you are disciplined because you enjoy it. You know how fruitful it is. And you also know that if for some reason you willingly or unwillingly, circumstantially, whatever, if you are not disciplined for whatever reason, you will not beat yourself up
Hmm.
because you are not making it a source of your self worth. You are just taking it as a tool to enhance your life. So,
Yeah,
identifying that difference, because in both cases, the feelings are very similar.
yeah. I think that's a very, very, very important discernment,
Yeah.
where you are able to see why you are doing it. Is it coming from a source of your self-worth, or is it coming from a place where you want to enjoy it, where you know, yeah, it will lead to growth, but it's not like if you are not able to do it for X, Y reasons, then you will start beating yourself down. And
Yeah.
I think the challenge here is, which is very much connected to the pattern of chasing and the pattern of self-criticism. And as you mentioned that we were taught on, like, how we were taught to do things were on a basis of reward and punishment. And I think reward was very little and punishment was way too
Mm,
much.
mm,
And we were criticized heavily right from our childhood for all the little things that we were able to do or we were not able to do. Even making mistakes was like a crime,
mm,
which is, if you find it, and so many people are even today are afraid of making mistakes.
mm,
And the key to learning or key to be successful in life is lies in making mistakes. So coming to the point that the pattern of self criticism is that when there are times where we are not able to go as per our expectations, as
mm,
how we have planned things,
mm,
there because anyways there are so many distractions that anyone can fall into.
mhm,
And suppose I spend my day watching Netflix and I don't do anything productive, and maybe it's been going for days. One is, of course, emotionally, I will start feeling not feeling well because there is this digital stress that I will experience, and then there will be too much stimulation. Then and so I will start feeling not that good. But now, how if I want to come out of it? I like there's only one way that I can do where I can, criticize myself and tell myself that I'm not good enough, and this is what I do every time. And yeah, saying more things like that, where maybe I will be motivated now again to start my self improvement journey. But usually what happens is that it only leads to more guilt and shame,
mhm.
and it's very hard to start from that place. and the process of self-accepting and loving yourself and cheering yourself in that moment is an unknown place, which may look scary or which may look like people don't believe that this will work.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like that, how they when a horse is moving or that donkey is moving, it's a common belief that the only way to move that is to beat it, and then only it will go forward.
Yeah. I'll share something which came to my mind when you were giving that Netflix example. So a very common thing which happens, I'll again talk in the both terms. Discipline as the source of joy, simply joy. Even you are not trying to attach it with anything, you're enjoying it, and then discipline the way we have been conditioned for, you know. So in the case of Netflix, let's say I break my routine and I decide to binge watch on Netflix, and I'm just watching one episode after the other. In both of the cases, I'll feel guilt. Like in the first case, if my discipline is coming from joy and I am not being disciplined by binge watching, I'll feel guilt because a part of me will know that I am getting stimulated here, not feeling calm, and what I am perceiving as entertainment is deep within not really benefiting me, you know. So I'll feel some sort of guilt there, and that is there. That is it. On the other hand, if I am now feeling guilt because I have made discipline my source of self worth, then the guilt which I'll feel in this case, will be followed by a lot of inner dialogue.
Hmm. Hmm.
The inner dialogue will go on like, okay, just one last episode. I know it is bad of me to watch it. I know I'm breaking my routine, and then it will become a habit, and then I'll again slip off into that spiral of not sticking to discipline. Shit, man, it was already hard. Why did I do so? And why am I not able to stop now? Just one last episode. Da, 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 da. That loop of inner talk, which is more like a self criticism, will
Hmm.
go on along
Hmm.
with the feeling of guilt. That is my indicator that, okay, I have made discipline a source of my self worth, or I'm getting attached to it, instead, using it as a tool in my life. I have become a tool for it to rule my life. That differentiation, if we are able to spot in our day to day life, it's mind blowing. Because many times, you know, and it's not that the discipline, this kind of discipline where we are beating ourselves up, doesn't lead to great results. People
Ye-
achieve great things by
Yes.
this kind of discipline. It's just that the feeling which accompanies it is not very pleasant. But
Yeah.
people don't want to question it because they know that they can sense that unpleasantness. That if I start stepping towards it, it's a dark area. So let me just stay far from it.
Yes. Yes.
So, one point is that always observe what kind of inner dialogue is accompanied with the feeling of guilt, shame, embarrassment, whatever it is, while you are not able to stick to your discipline. Okay. And number two, your willingness to question your why of discipline. If you are not able to question your why, then that's a telltale sign that there is something out there which you don't want to go towards,
Yeah.
and this is why you must go towards it. So, yeah, these two signs can help to identify when discipline or self improvement is happening for the joy, or it is happening just to avoid all the inner criticism.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So one of the, one of the challenges which I have seen often, which keeps coming back again and again, is that, if I become kind and loving and accepting, how would I even, you know, come back and change myself?
It's
Yeah.
it's saying
So,
like I'll become complacent if
yeah,
I
yeah,
become kind and
yeah.
loving.
Complacent is the word. Yeah. Then I will
Yeah,
become. I will keep watching Netflix. Then I will keep smoking. Then I will keep drinking.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Great
what?
point.
And this is what uh, I tell people again and again. This that does not happen. One, that does not happen. You do not lose your drive. You do not become complacent. In fact, so one uh, perspective of this is that the more energy you have, the more happier you are, the better you are feeling. It's always easier to take more action.
Yeah,
You do not and your tendency to drive that short-term pleasure becomes less when you are naturally happy. Okay, one thing is
agree.
this, and but I have a very beautiful analogy for this, which is that. So let me ask you this. What really helps growing the plant? How does
Patience.
how? No. Okay, okay, of course.
What else?
Let's suppose I planted a seed.
Mhm.
Now, how will I make sure that it will grow into a plant?
I'll consistently nurture it with the fertilizer, sunshine, whatever it needs, and also giving it that time to flourish.
Of
You know?
course, that is very,
Yeah. I mean, what I'm trying to say here is I cannot rush the timeline because I think I want certain fruit out of it or shed or whatever.
yeah,
So
I get it, but wait, 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 wait. Just answer my
mhm,
question. Don't get
this is the
philosophical.
answer. This is the answer.
It's very simple. It's sunlight, it's fertilizers, right?
Mm,
So basically, it's the environment.
mm,
Environment will help the plant grow eventually, and
okay.
then it will into a tree, and then yeah, if it's a mango seed, then it will give mangoes in few
Hmm.
years,
Hmm.
right? Now, let me ask you another question. On what factors the size of the plant is dependent?
The kind of environment again.
Yes, what else? There's something very important, which is even, I think, sometimes even important than environment.
What kind of seed it is. Even if I sow two different mango seeds, right? Both of them will have different naturalness, innateness to grow. So I think that is also very important.
Yeah, that is one factor. But let's suppose that the potential to grow is infinite.
Environment, I mean, yeah, that is what I can reach.
Okay. So, even if I uh, give it the best environment, but if I plant it in a pot,
Hmm. Okay.
so
Yeah,
uh,
that comes in the environment, no? Where you are planting it, that is a part of environment.
it is part of the environment, but yeah, like it's the basically the size of it is dependent on the space given to its roots.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now let me ask you again that given all these things, given the environment and given the size given to the space of the roots, is there something inherent in the plant which knows how to grow?
It's is it's nature to grow.
Yeah,
So it's not even a question of knowing. It's the nature.
yeah, right? There is inherent intelligence in the seed
mm,
which just knows how to grow. So even if you don't provide it with the best environment, even if you don't, yeah, give it the best, water it daily, it will find its way to grow, right?
yeah,
So we are saying environment is supporting the plant's growth,
mm,
but there's something inherent
mm,
which just knows how to grow. It's in its nature to grow.
mm,
Now this is very evident for to the plant. Why is this not evident for humans?
mm. Yeah, true. It is.
So if we look at this analogy and so for me, within every human, there is not there is something natural, something inherent which just knows how to grow.
Mm,
The second thing is that yeah, of course, if you have a good environment, you will grow faster.
mm,
Your environment is crucial, it's important.
mm.
And the third thing to me is the space that you give to your roots. That's equivalent to the amount of self-love and acceptance that you have. So how much you can love and accept yourself, that's how much you can grow.
Reminds me of a quote which I'm not able to remember completely, but there is some quote on self acceptance and self love, which goes like, I have read in one of your
I
posts as well that quote.
complete it for you. So no amount of self-improvement can compensate for the lack of self-love you
Self
have.
acceptance.
Self-accept.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. This one. So, yeah,
Hmm.
so I think it comes down to, okay, so it comes down to the self acceptance. And for self acceptance, if we again start breaking it down to the more further fundamental entities, you cannot accept something which you don't know is there.
Hmm.
So, first you have to know what all is in there in you, even if you don't understand it fully. Even if your rational mind is like, huh, that doesn't make sense, it's fine. But the fact that it exists in you, whether it's your self sabotaging tendency or your commitment to your personal growth, whatever it is, good, bad, right, wrong, whatever category you want to put it in, the fact that it exists in you is the sole indicator that it requires your self acceptance. And to know what it is, what are all those parts which make you you, you have to spend time with yourself so that you can observe what are all those parts. So that is why, I feel it's very important to talk about the significance of observation whenever we are talking about self acceptance, because without observing you cannot know what is there, and if you don't know what is there you cannot accept it. So yeah, it is about self knowing, and then gradually coming to a place where you can accept all that you find without labeling it into the categories of good, bad, right, wrong.
Hmm.
And that acceptance, that unconditional acceptance in itself, is the source of every change which you want to bring in.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think that's something uh, which so in the beginning it's very hard to understand that how can accepting myself will lead to change.
Yeah, yeah, because we are all about doing, molding things with force and pressure.
Yeah, yeah, and that's how we push ourselves from self-criticism, and it works. That's the thing.
Yeah,
It works for so many people
yeah,
out there that it's they find it hard. The thing is, um, when you're becoming successful, when you become successful, when you're able to, do things by pushing, like go, 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 go. When you are able to do that to yourself, do that to people around you. You can achieve results, of course, but somewhere there is that part of you which is having that feeling of not being enough, where or you feel like, because there will be times when you will not be able to follow what you have planned for yourself, and in
Mhm.
those moments criticize yourself, then in moment then you will again start chasing that self improvement, and then you will feel like something is missing, and at that times you will also realize, maybe I need to just slow down,
Mhm.
maybe I just need to slow down, and I need to be more patient, and I need to be, be more kind and compassionate also to people around me. And but of course that does not happen. And that does not happen because um, you are not able to give that love to yourself when you are not doing things that you plan to do. And because you cannot give that love to yourself in the moment where you make mistakes, in that moment where you are not so perfect, it's very hard to give it to others when they make mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah, we cannot give to others what we don't have for ourselves first. So yeah, that makes sense. And that's the thing. I think self improvement is always connected with the word change. We are trying to change one thing or the other about ourselves when it comes to self improvement. But again, a very beautiful paradox with change is when you stop trying to change, you automatically change.
Hmm.
And so I think the more important question becomes how to stop trying to change while you are not comfortable with who you are right now.
Hmm.
It makes sense. I am not comfortable with who I am right now or my certain behavior, whatever it is, right? That is why I want to change. Makes sense. But can I just be okay with this behavior of mine? Can I give it that acceptance? And that's when I end up experiencing, oh my God, nothing needs to be changed. If there was something, it was there to tell me something, you know, any behavior of mine which I was not liking, it was there because it was carrying a very significant insight about me for me. And when I stay present with that behavior of mine, it starts revealing that insight to me. And when I get that insight, that behavior is gone on its own. I don't even have to do anything. All I have done is managing my emotions while I am being present with that uncomfortable behavior of mine. So, all the changes which I was trying to go for, I think that is a very important step to do. And then I'm saying it again, it's not about overthinking things or not taking any action. I'm not saying that do not take action. I'm just saying that understand the source of those actions.
Hmm.
And it's a, like I'll give you a very recent example. I was not able to get back to my workout routine. Okay. And I tried to force myself that let's just begin with 10 minutes a day and all those hats, take it one step at a time and all. But nothing was working. I was not acting. The change which I noticed this time was I was not being critical of myself while I was not able to even begin those 10-minute workouts every day. I simply realized that there is something here which I need to understand, like why I am not able to begin, even when it's just 10 minutes. And it's not difficult for me because I have a history of workouts, so I can do it. My body is ready, my mind is sort of chill, but still there is resistance. So that's what I did. I stopped every hack. I stopped searching for more and more on internet, like how can I resume my workout routine. And I just started going within, making that space in my day where I'm just sitting with myself, and I journaled, I introspected, reflected, contemplated, did everything, and then the things started appearing. Where was the source of that resistance? And that source was 10 layers deep.
Hmm.
And that just blew my mind. That, okay, wow, that
Hmm.
was the resistance. I was just looking here and here, but the resistance was here, very, very deep. The moment I realized it, I felt sadness because I saw something very uncomfortable about myself at that level. I knew I would be sad. I started feeling tiredness, as if something just broke open in my body and my body was trying to integrate it or something. So I stayed put with everything. And then one day, I just began. I exercised, I worked out naturally.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
and so that's the thing. I mean, it's very prevalent. It's even idealized to force discipline. And I understand those certain situations where discipline feels like it needs to be forced so as to get the results because there are some deadlines or whatever. But most of the cases in our life don't have those deadlines. So we can try discipline or self improvement without any force or pressure as well.
Hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think this is so beautiful. How you used something which you were not able to do as as an opportunity to go deeper, to become more aware about yourself. And I think, but it could only start when you stop being critical.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't have a very healthy relationship with the workouts, to be honest, because of my life experiences in the past. And I have always struggled with this thing, being disciplined in my workouts. I have always struggled with it. And there was a time when I accepted that, okay, this struggle is gonna be forever in my life. So so it's a choice now, and our rational minds are so beautiful. See, the struggle is there, now it's gonna be forever. So now you can choose. Do you want to do it despite the struggle, or do you want to just leave it be? The thing is, struggle need not be there.
Hmm.
There lies a third option, which I know is not very quick to find. It
Hmm.
requires patience. I know the kind of patience I had to consciously muster up while I was trying to identify my source of resistance towards that resuming workout wala thing recently.
Hmm.
Because I understood I have a history, long history, where I have like pushed myself, in a very critical way to go for it. And I know like I have gotten the results as well, but it's just that this time I decided, no, I want to feel good while I am doing it, not
Yeah.
just by the results of it. So that choice is also very important.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that's the only way where it can be sustainable and it can you can be consistent in the long run.
I disagree.
Okay, tell me.
um if you are knee deep in this whole landscape of uh, using discipline as punishment, you can still sustain for a long term. It's
Hmm.
just that initially you feel that conflict where you don't feel good, but you are forced to do it. But when you remain consistent with it for such a long time, that part of you which used to indicate some source of, the lack of joy, that gets suppressed completely. Now you sort of become a machine. And for
Hmm.
a long term, even throughout your life,
Hmm.
you
Yeah.
remain consistent with it.
Yeah. So let me just rephrase. So, in order to stay consistent while being joyful in what you're doing, then then it can only happen when you're not critical.
Yes, absolutely.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, and I also want to add to this is that, if there is something that you are not able to do, where,
Hmm.
it's a behavior that you want to leave, or it's something that you want to start and you are not able to do. So it's definitely not because you're lazy. It's not because you are a procrastinator. It's not because that's what happens with you all the time. It's not because you are not consistent at anything. And it's not because of any other thing that you believe about yourself.
Hmm.
But it could be something deeper. These
Absolutely.
surface level misconceptions or limiting beliefs that we have, which we
Hmm.
think that this is the reason why I'm not able to do it.
Yes, great point. Yes. And we miss it quite often, right?
Mm.
I think a lot of us have our why for self improvement just to stop being lazy or a procrastinator or XYZ label like that.
Yeah, yeah. I want to ask you, what is your way of self improvement?
Oh, I love to meet all those parts of me which I don't know I have. That's my why. I'm fascinated by my inner world because
Mm-hmm.
the more I get to know it, the more I get to know about life and everything and everyone which is a part of it. And that's a wonderful, wonderful, like, it gives me goosebumps whenever I talk about it. It's a wonderful journey to be in. Anything and everything which comes as a result of it is merely a byproduct for me. But I just love, die hard fan of that exploration.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
What's your why?
Uh, First is I don't even see it as self improvement.
Hmm.
For me, it's more like my lifestyle, and of course, different habits lead to different results, and I want to live a lifestyle or a way of being, yeah, where I'm more
Where you are more?
present, where I'm more present, and yeah, again the same thing. I think somewhat similar to yours, only that where I am more aware, where I'm going deeper and deeper and becoming more aware about my own thoughts, about my own beliefs, and at the same time, enjoy life more. Basically, enjoy life more, be more present, be more playful, and uh, feel more connected with the higher power,
Mm,
and hmm, and exploring the potential of my mind, body, both.
mm.
So for me, it's an exploration.
High five. That's the fun of it. I mean, there is no destination to arrive at. The journey in itself is something we are after. So I think that helps. And I'll add, it's not that I don't get impatient about arriving at certain destination while I am improving myself or exploring myself, whatever. That happens, and it happens frequently at times. So that's just another opportunity for me to, you know, go deeper into understanding all those parts within which are still holding on to uh, self exploration or self improvement as a necessity. Because if I make it a necessity, then
Hmm.
I have attached a destination to it.
Yeah,
Like as long as it will get fulfilled, I'll feel happy, joyous, healthy, whatever. And that's like just another vicious cycle.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You cannot be dependent on it.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's more uh, you are going from A to B
Hmm.
and you're going in a car,
Hmm.
just a Maruti 800,
Hmm.
and you're grateful.
Hmm.
You are going in a Mercedes and you are still grateful.
Yeah.
Or you're going by cycle, then you're still also grateful, and you're going just on your feet and you're still grateful. So it doesn't matter how you're going, as long as you are just enjoying. I'm good with whatever I have.
Yeah. It's a very different way of living. Like, I mean, and I am glad that I have a few people in my life who I can witness as the embodiment of this kind of living. But I also know that we still don't have common examples like that in our society yet. And I'm using the word yet because I really think that more and more people are becoming more attuned with this kind of living. And I
Hmm.
think um, because you were talking about environment, right? I'll highlight this point because I understand that in, and I'm not using it as an excuse, but I have seen it. For some people, they really are committed to this kind of living where they are committed to the gratitude. They feel grateful for what they are, who they are, how they are moving ahead, and whatever, instead of getting attached to some destination. But just that the environment they are in, it becomes a source of grave inner conflict for them. It gives them multiple identity crises, which are good because crises are always good. But at the same time, it depletes them to an extent that they stop going towards this path. So that's why I think, like, if even the people who are viewing it right now or in the recording, if you are someone who lives life in the way which I and Ashutosh are talking about, stop hiding yourself. Be more vocal about it. That, okay, this is how you live life. You enjoy every moment.
Hmm.
Many people don't talk about it because they again feel that, people will judge or something like that.
Hmm.
But you are not understanding the ripple effect of it. That you don't know who is that person in your immediate or non immediate vicinity who would get that bit of courage from you when they see you saying it out loud that, okay, this is how I live my life.
Hmm.
Gratitude, joy, and all. And please don't even attach the word spiritual with it.
Oh, spiritual?
Yeah, I mean,
What did you
see,
say?
spiritual.
Okay.
Like, people
Hmm.
are so in rush to call themselves spiritual that it has just become some
Another
brand label or something. I don't know what.
another identity.
Yeah. So, the people who actually are spiritual, who have never labeled them as spiritual, they stop entering into this domain altogether because it has become that much exhausted. So, what I am trying to say is the more you talk about your journey, if you are living your life in a very uncommon way, where
Hmm.
you prioritize joy and stuff like that, not how the society wants you to live, but how you want to live, please be more vocal about it. And if this way of living has any kind of resemblance with your idea of spirituality, let it be. Don't use it as a reason to not talk about this life of yours, this way of living of yours.
Hmm.
Because as I said, you never know who is that person who would get that bit of courage from this, just because you are transparent about it, you are talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So we are approaching the end of the session. Uh, what is something that you want to talk about now, or if you want to conclude this?
Okay, I just because we have used the word trap in the title for today, right? Trap of self improvement. I'll say you cannot learn to get out of a trap until unless you are in a trap. So if you are in this trap of self improvement, congratulations.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
yeah. Even to come to that trap is an achievement.
It is so wonderful.
Hmm.
Applause for you. Don't get scared or humiliated by it, by recognizing it that, okay, shit, now I'm in a trap. It's great. Now you'll know something which you have never known before, and it will blow your mind. So be okay in accepting that, okay, yes, I might be in a trap. And as Ashutosh said, you have that infinite intelligence within you. If you just accept it and believe that you will find a way out of it, not in a hurry, again, not out of fear, but because you know that, yes, it is a part of the journey and you will overcome it, then yes, a lot of new things you'll get to know about yourself.
Yeah, very beautiful, very beautiful. I want to add to that is, yeah, wherever you are, you can start from this, which is, and this is something which will always help you, is why I'm doing this, why I'm doing this, and keep going deeper and deeper and deeper. So when you have very good clarity on why you are doing it, why you're doing this, why you're waking up early, why you're doing this self improvement, that can open up so many things. That can lead awareness to so many things which you might not be having. And I think one important thing is also to understand that it's a very long journey. It's probably going to be there till the end of your breath.
Mm,
So it's not like a target or a goal that you have to achieve in 1 year or in 2 years or even 3 years. It's a very long term, 15, at least 30, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years process. Even if you're making very small changes on a daily basis. And by changes, I do not mean that you are, if you wake up at 8 a.m., you start waking up at 6 a.m. Uh, that is good. That is always good. But changes as in, is your self talk becoming better? Is it becoming more encouraging? Are you able to love yourself when you're able to, follow your goals? And also when you're not able to follow your goals, when you are in
more
what
important.
that is more important, when when you are doing something which you don't want to do, let's suppose eating unhealthy.
Mm,
Can you love yourself in that moment? Can you be accepting of yourself in that moment?
mm,
So if your self love and self acceptance is increasing,
mm,
even it's happening at a very gradual pace,
mm.
it's it's still worth it.
Yes, and please surround yourself with people who are on the similar journey. So, in the times when you'll feel discouraged, because you will feel discouraged, you can get yourself back up by the support of those people. Because, yes, Ashutosh is right. It's a very long journey, it's a forever journey. You are always a work in progress, but you have to love every version of yours of work in progress.
You are the work in progress, but before that, you are a masterpiece. So you are both at the same time, the masterpiece and the work in progress. But first, you are a masterpiece, then you are work in progress.
Yes. So, uh, whenever you forget it or you feel like, because you don't have to make this a very lonely journey.
Yeah,
The support is very, very, very powerful. Even if it is just to one person you find that, yes, this person can give me that sort of support, mutual support. You give them that support, they give you that support. Please, like, I'll to say that make it a make it a priority to find that support,
mhm.
not because you are lacking something, just because if you are on a wonderful journey, why to do it alone? Why?
Absolutely. And I think it's very, very important to make this journey easier,
Yeah,
however it is, because it's not about proving your worth. We have already established it. If it is about proving your worth, then yeah, you're going to have a hard time.
yeah.
So, as we have established that it's not about proving your worth, the more you can seek support, whether it's from your friends, whether it's from a professional, the easier you can make the process, the better it is.
Yes, and also one more point. Since it is not about your self-worth, it also doesn't mean you keep yourself blindfolded from the things which you know are causing you harm directly or indirectly. We are not saying that you have to stop recognizing those things. We are
Yeah,
saying the approach towards those things, make it lovable, kind, compassionate. Don't stop altogether because you don't know this loving approach.
yeah, that's what I say. That's what I say. That's called denial. Don't be,
Yes.
don't feel self-denial. Don't think of self-acceptance as self-denial, where you are like, no, it's fine, okay, whatever it is.
I love the way I am.
Yeah,
This
I
is
love.
okay. No, no, no. I know a better line. This is who I am.
This is who
Accept
I.
it or reject it.
Yeah, yeah. That's not acceptance. That's self-denial.
Yeah.
Because self-acceptance is more about the energy the energy of love. And when you say this is who I am, that's not the energy of love. Because that's not what you are saying to yourself.
Hmm.
You are not able to do what you really want to do. Then
Hmm.
self-criticism and all those things come in the way.
Yes.
So
Agreed.
yeah, don't be in self-denial. And self-acceptance and self-denial are very, very different. And loving yourself will not lead you to self-denial or complacency.
Absolutely. So yeah, I think we have come to the end. Any questions which the live viewers may have right now for us?
Yes, please. I saw someone sent a love a couple of minutes ago. So I think someone is live. Someone is watching.
Yeah, yeah. Someone is. We can see the count has six. So I think six people are live right now. Any one of you have any questions for us or anything which you want to share? It doesn't have to be a question.
Meanwhile, I want to say that I am doing a workshop on this Sunday on decision,
Yay.
and I am doing a workshop after a long time. So I am kind of excited about it, and it's a free workshop. So
Online, offline.
it's an online workshop.
And what's the topic?
Topic is the art of decision making. The art of decision making, and what we are going to explore is quick and effective decision making
Mhm,
and heart-based choices,
mhm.
uh, learning to trust your intuition.
Great. Lovely topics. So anyone who's listening to this, do join. So Sunday, you mean second Feb?
Yeah, second Feb, 11 a.m. to 12:30 a.m. and yeah, if you're interested in joining the workshop, you can ping me on LinkedIn or on Substack or on Instagram. And I don't know how you'll find my LinkedIn or Instagram, but I yeah, like wherever we share this, maybe if you're watching it on Substack, then you can directly ping me on Substack, and if you're watching it on YouTube, then yeah, I think it will be somewhere in the description.
Also, if you are not connected to Ashutosh but connected with me, you can ping me. I'll share Ashutosh's contact info with you regarding the workshop.
Yeah, thank you, Sauraj. Thank you so much. Okay, then I think we don't have any questions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, guys. See you next Friday, 6 p.m. IST. And
and
yes, we'll come up with a different topic which we haven't thought of yet,
as usual.
as usual. Lovely speaking to you all. Lovely speaking to you, Ashutosh, as always. See you next week, guys. So, yeah, take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.